Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of The Snowstorm by Alexander Pushkin. Alexander Pushkin is Russia's national poet and also is said to be the founder of modern Russian language. His works include Ruslan I Ludmila, Evangeno Onegin, Tissy, that is the Gypsies, Kapisankara Daksha, the captain's daughter, and The History of Pagachue. And the theme of this story is fate, destiny, irony, and the unpredictability of human life. And the main characters are Maria Gavrilina, that is Masha, Colonel Burmin, Vladimir Nikolaevich, Gavrila Gavrilovich, that is Maria's father, Praskovia Petrovna, that is Maria's mother. The Blizzard, the original name of the snowstorm, which was written in Russian, is a second of the 5 short stories that constitute the Balkan Tales by Alexander Pushkin. In 1811, a 17-year-old girl, Maria Gavrilina, falls in love with a young officer, Vladimir Nikolaevich. Her parents disapprove of the relationship, which continues into the winter through correspondence. Finally, they decide to elope, marry quietly, and then throw themselves at the feet of her parents to beg and get their forgiveness. The plan was for Maria to slip outside in the middle of the winter's night and take a sleigh to a distant village church where her love would meet her for the wedding. On the night in question, a blizzard was raging, that is, a snowstorm, but she managed to reach the church. Her lover, on the other hand, he lost his way in the dark and the storm, and he came to the church many hours late only to find that there was no one there. The next morning, Masha was once more at home but very ill. In a feverish delirium, she said enough to make it clear to her parents that she was hopelessly in love with a young officer. Her parents decided that this was a fated love, gave their permission for a wedding. But when they wrote to inform the officer of this fate, his reply was almost incoherent. He begged their forgiveness and insisted that his only hope was death. Because he had rejoined the army, was wounded at the Battle of Borodino, and finally he died. Meanwhile, Masha's father died, leaving her the richest young woman in the region. Suitors pressed for her hand, but she refused to accept anyone. She seemed to be living only for the memory of her last love. Finally, though, she made the acquaintance of a wounded colonel of the Hussars, Burmin, who was visiting the estate near hers. Burmin was a handsome man who had once had a reputation as a notorious rake, but who was now both quiet and modest in his personality. The two developed a warm friendship, and it became very clear that he was so restrained that he never made any declaration of love or formal proposal to her. Masha purposely arranged a situation in which they would be able to talk freely with no one else nearby. Finally, he breaks his silence. He says that he loves her passionately but cannot hope for any happiness with her because he is already married, and that marriage took 4 years back, and he married a woman whom he did not know and whom he cannot expect ever to see again. To the astonishment, Masha, he explains that in the winter of 1812 he was trying to rejoin his regiment when a terrible blizzard came on. Riding in a trochea with a guide, they became lost in unfamiliar country. Seeing a light in the distance, they drove towards it and found themselves at a village church where people were crying out, "This way, this way." When he stopped at the church, he was told that the bride had fainted and that the priest did not know what to do. When they saw the young soldier, they asked him if he was ready to proceed. Burmin, the young rake, noticed the attractiveness of the bride and decided to play a prank by going through with the ceremony. The church was dark, lit only by a few candles, and everyone in it was little more than a shadow. When at the end he was told to kiss his bride, the bride realized that it was not her intended lover and fainted dead away. As the witnesses stared at him in horror, he raced out and drove off. He explains to Masha that he was so thoroughly lost that he still does not know the name of the village where he was married or who the bride might have been. As the tale ends, Maria takes the hand of the man she has come to love and identifies herself as the long lost bride. So, though unintentionally they got married in the church, now they have fallen in love with each other and they are united, and that is the fate of their life which has united them. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box, like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.